Let's delve into the hilariously bad world of modern villains, where menacing, diabolical, and downright corny characters reign supreme. It's as if the art of creating a truly despicable antagonist has been lost in a whirlwind of misunderstood, cookie-cutter bad guys whose only crime seems to be a severe lack of imagination. These sorry excuses for villains are about as intimidating as a fluffy bunny with a wiffle ball bat, and their dastardly plans could easily be thwarted by a toddler with a toy hammer. After all, what would Sherlock Holmes be without Professor Moriarty? What would Harry Potter be without Voldemort? And what would a joke about overly serious topics be without a touch of wit and levity? Firstly, let's take a moment to appreciate the ostentatious lack of originality in the realm of modern villainy. Gone are the days of iconic evildoers with cunning schemes and genuinely menacing presences. Instead, we're presented with a parade of underwhelming baddies whose nefarious intentions are as flimsy as a wet paper bag. They skulk about with all the subtlety of a neon pink elephant in a china shop, exuding an aura of mediocrity that would make even the most hardened antagonist weep with embarrassment. The dialogue attributed to these vapid villains is another cause for mirth. Gone are the days of deliciously wicked monologues and cutting repartee. Instead, we're treated to cringe-inducing one-liners that would struggle to elicit a chuckle from a stone gargoyle. These villains seem to have missed the memo on the art of proper villainy, instead opting for dialogue that wouldn't be out of place in a cheap daytime soap opera. Their attempts at menace are as feeble as a kitten with a megaphone, leaving audiences more inclined to snicker than shudder in fear. The plotting, too, is a ripe target for mockery. Instead of diabolically intricate schemes that leave audiences on the edge of their seats, we're presented with haphazard plans that falter at the slightest scrutiny. These so-called villains couldn't organize a tea party, let alone a nefarious plot to take over the world. It's as if the writers have taken a step back and decided that making the bad guys comically inept is the height of creativity. Alas, the result is not so much menacing as it is mildly amusing. And then there's the curious trend of trying to make these lackluster villains misunderstood in a bid to garner sympathy. Gone are the days when antagonists were unapologetically wicked. Now, it seems that every other villain is burdened with a tragic backstory or a penchant for monologuing about their troubled past. It's as if the studios are more concerned with manipulating our emotions than creating a truly compelling antagonist. The result? Villains who are about as intimidating as a fluffy kitten wrapped in a blanket of self-pity. It's a strange and rather comical spectacle, watching these poorly written villains flounder about on screen, desperately trying to evoke some semblance of fear or loathing. Instead, they come off as caricatures of true villainy, eliciting eye rolls and stifled laughter from audiences rather than genuine trepidation. One can't help but wonder if the writers responsible for these pitiful excuses for antagonists have taken a crash course in how not to create a memorable bad guy. In conclusion, the modern villain has become a parody of itself, a shadow of the truly formidable antagonists that once graced our screens. With their lackluster presence, cringeworthy dialogue, and feeble attempts at villainy, it's no wonder that audiences are left scratching their heads in bemusement rather than cowering in fear.
Perhaps it's time for a resurgence of genuine, spine-tingling villains who can truly send shivers down our spines and remind us of the joy of watching a truly wicked antagonist do their worst. Until then, we'll just have to content ourselves with poking fun at the sorry state of modern villainy and